Good day everyone. I hope this finds you well because today we are going to talk about unpacking learning competencies. So, what is unpacking? So, unpacking is the process of deconstructing students' learning outcomes. So, in unpacking, so it is a process of breaking down and clearly defining the specific knowledge, skills, and values that the students should acquire. So, it helps the educators understand the detailed components of learning objectives, ensuring that they are well defined and aligned with the standards. So,
Unpacking learning competencies.
what are the competencies and why they matter? Competencies, these refer to again, based from the previous reports, is a combination of knowledge, skills, and attitudes that individuals possess and can effectively apply to perform specific tasks or achieve a particular goal. So, competencies are significant because they provide a structured framework for assessing and developing essential abilities in various domains. So, importance of unpacking. Unpacking competencies assists educators in defining precise learning goals that align with standards, improving curriculum designs, and teaching. So, now let us move on to learning competency. A learning competency is a defined set of knowledge, skills, and behaviors that individuals need to acquire during an educational or training program. So, it is a specific statement that outlines specific terms, what students are expected to know and be able to do. So, and learning competencies, it is also stated in specific terms. It means that learning competencies are written and precise and clear language to avoid ambiguity. So, learning competencies also define essential knowledge, which means that it identifies the fundamental information that students should grasp. Next, learning competencies also define skills or abilities that students should develop, and these skills can be cognitive or practical. And also, learning competencies encompasses values that the student should adopt. So, and lastly, learning competencies is indicator of understanding. So, it means that it serves as a benchmark or criteria for assessing students' understanding and mastery of content standards. So, educators use this competency to design assessment and evaluate students' performances. So, for the continuation, my group mates will provide the necessary information.
So here are the unpacking competencies using 5 P's. The first one is purpose. So purpose, if a lesson is to be taught, there must be a good reason for teaching it. So purpose refers to the idea that every activity, lesson, or task should have a clear and meaningful objectives. So what are you teaching? Why are you teaching this? So purpose motivates students to learn, providing them with a drive to achieve their goals. And how will it benefit the students? So it helps students focus their efforts and give them a sense of direction, increase their chances of success. So the second one is preparation. Preparation can help you increase confidence in your abilities. When you create a lesson or activities before class, you can become comfortable performing those lessons. By learning before you give it, you can eliminate any stress of being unprepared. And the third one is pitch. The pitch of the lesson must ensure that all pupils can access the materials. So pitch is the level of challenge that all students will be required and supported to think during the lesson. The fourth one is pace. The pace must maintain interest and ensure learning. So how will the pupils know the time frame for each activity? So students will be given enough to practice and embed new knowledge they are taught. So the last 5 P's of unpacking competencies is progress. So you and teachers must know that progress has been made. So in learning progressions, teachers are able to identify where the students are at in their learning. So this can help the teachers to understand students' progress in their learning. Progress can give the teacher information that can help the students learn more and learn faster. And it helps the teacher teach more effectively and make better decisions about the type of instructions that will work best with your students.
So next, we are going to tackle about the ABCD of the statement of objectives. So according to Hinch et al. 1996, one method that can be useful when writing a learning objective or outcome is the ABCD method. So this kind of method is to create a clear and effective objective. So there are four elements: the audience, behavior, condition, and the degree. So first, let's tackle about the audience. So audience are who are the learners or who will be doing the performance, or it is to determine who will achieve the objective. So next is the behavior. So behavior describe the task or behavior using the action verbs, or what will the student or the learners will going to do. Or so it is to unite observable and measurable behavior that shows mastery of the objective. So in behavior, there are three domains, which are the cognitive domain or the knowledge, psychomotor domain, the skills, affective or the attitude. So next is the condition. So condition is under what conditions or what tools, aids, or reference materials can the learner use. So the state of condition as well is under which behavior to be performed. So next, we'll be going to tackle about the degree. So degree is to what degree of mastery or how well must it be done. So if possible, state the criterion of the acceptable performance: speed, accuracy, quality, and etc. So we have here some examples. So the first one is that students will explain the social responsibility to ensure that adequate legal services are provided to those who cannot afford to pay for them in 3 paragraphs. So our audience here is the students. Then our behavior here is will explain the social responsibility. So it talks about the behavior of the students. Then to ensure that adequate legal services are provided to those who cannot afford to pay for them is our condition. Then lastly, our degree is in 3 paragraphs. So next example is students will describe the steps in planning factual investigation in legal research, including identifying and formulating relevant legal theories, generating alternative solutions and strategies applied to hypothetical case. So the students here is our audience. Then we'll describe the steps in planning factual investigation in legal research is our behavior. And next, our condition here is including identifying and formulating relevant legal theories, generating alternative solutions and strategies. And lastly, our degree here is applied to hypothetical case. So objective must be both observable and measurable to be effective. It's really effective if you are going to give the objective clearly and appropriate. So next is using the ABCD method. Audience, behavior, condition, and degree will help you to clarify the learning objectives and ultimately will help you and your students to achieve a better outcome. So when we make a objective, there are ABCD method. So in making an objective, ABCD method is very useful because we can see the audience, behavior, condition, and the degree. So we can know if our objective really achieve what we want to.
Next is writing objectives from competency. So at the end of this lesson, you will able to determine dimensions of competency and incorporate this into delivery and assessment. Second is you will able to determine key competencies, employability skills, and incorporate this into delivery and assessment. And the last one is you will able to determine appropriate and engaging learning activities. Now, let us define what is competency. So, competency, it is the desired knowledge, skills, and abilities or key SAs a participant needs to successfully perform specific tasks. So, this refers to the specific competencies and attributes that someone referred to as a participant should possess in order to effectively and competently complete particular tasks or responsibilities. So, these KSAs encompass both theoretical understanding, which is knowledge, practical proficiencies, which is skills, and personal or inherent qualities, which is the abilities that are essential for achieving success in the given task. So, identifying and acquiring these KSAs is crucial. It is important for effective task execution and overall job performance in various contexts such as education, employment, or training programs. Next is the learning objectives. So learning objectives, it is a very specific statement that describes exactly what a participant will be able to do after completing the course or program. So this refers to a clear and precise description of the specific skills, knowledge, or abilities that a participant is expected to acquire or demonstrate upon successfully finishing an educational course or program. So this statement outlines the learning outcomes or objectives of the course in explicit terms, leaving no room for ambiguity. So these statements play a crucial role in education and training because they provide a focus and measurable target for what the learners should achieve. And also, they help instructors and learners understand the intended results of the educational experience and guide the development of curriculum, assessments, and teaching methods to ensure that participants can attain these specific goals.
There is the difference between competencies and learning objectives. Competencies are essential knowledge, skills, and abilities needed for job functions or tasks, while learning objectives are what participants demonstrate during a learning session to meet those competencies. So competencies is where the abilities or the knowledge of a learner is being mold and being trained, while learning objectives is where they demonstrate, they show what they've learned on that certain task or what they have gained knowledge on their discussion. So competencies are more general, encompassing those psychomotor skills that required for acceptable performance, while learning objectives are specific to a course of instruction. By achieving these objectives, individuals develop necessary competencies, ensuring they can perform their job effectively and they can deliver what is being required on that certain task. So how do we connect competencies and learning objectives? Training courses are designed by identifying the desired competencies and the method of instruction. A needs analysis is a systematic process to determine the necessary abilities for special tasks. Desired competencies are broken down into learning objectives, which are steps a participant needs to know to perform a competency at a specific level. So the need to connect the competencies and the learning objectives is really necessary in order to deliver or to demonstrate a proper instruction or a discussion towards the students. So without competencies or without learning objectives, it cannot be done thoroughly. But if we understand our competencies and we connect it to our learning objectives, we can basically discuss, or we can probably demonstrate our discussion smoothly. There is an example of competency and learning objectives that is connected to each other. For example, in the competency, correctly change the oil on an automobile in less than 10 minutes. So this is the competency. And our learning objectives of this competency is that by the end of the course, the participants will be able to, first, locate and remove drain plug. Second, determine the appropriate oil weight. Third, add the appropriate amount of oil. And lastly, change the filter. So that is how we connect the competency and the learning outcomes.